Okay, good day to everyone. Before we proceed to our discussion, let me check the attendance first. Okay, it seems like everyone is here and present. Very good to everyone. So, for today's discussion, we will be talking about the reflexive pronouns. So, does any of you have any idea about it, or it's new from the all of you? Alright, it seems like the topic is quite new for everyone, but rest assured that we will be able to tackle it today. Before you proceed to the lesson, let's have a short warm-up activity first. So I will be showing an examples, and all you need to do is to identify the missing word to complete the sentence. Are you ready? Then let's begin. Okay, the first that we have is, I taught blank how to brew a coffee. What do you think is the missing word that could complete our sentence? Okay, Miss Gonzalez. Okay, let's check if you got the correct answer. Okay, very good. The missing word is myself. I taught myself how to brew a coffee. How about the next one? Okay, Miss Tan. Let's see if you got the correct answer. Okay, very good. So the missing word is yourself. You should take care of yourself. Okay, next, Mr. Santos. Let's check your answer. Okay, very good. So the missing word is herself. She made the cake by herself. Now, let's proceed with the discussion of our topic. So, what do we mean by reflexive pronouns? What are those? Okay, so when we say reflexive pronouns, it is a pronouns that words that we use when the subject and the object of a sentence are the same person or thing. Reflexive pronouns also tells us that someone does something to themselves. It's like they reflect the action back to the subject. So here's a sentence. I made this sandwich myself. What does myself tells us? Okay, Miss Gawson. Okay, very good. It tells us that I made it and no one else did. Okay, so the word myself reflects the subject I. Are we clear? Okay, very good. Now, let's look for the list of reflexive pronouns. In this slide, you'll be able to see the pronouns and its corresponding partner. So, if the subject is he, then we should use the pronoun himself. An example of it is, he washed the dishes by himself. Okay? Alright, now, when do we use reflexive pronouns? First that we have is the action reflecting back on the subject. So just like what we discussed earlier, and from the example that I used, I made this sandwich by myself. I am the subject in this sentence, and I am reflecting to the action that I did, which is making the sandwich. Okay. Next, we use reflexive pronouns when we are emphasizing the subject. So just like what I've mentioned, we are just reflecting the use of pronouns. The subject I made a sandwich and put an emphasis to the subject. We will if we are going to put emphasis on the subject, we have to add the pronoun myself. Okay, let's try a few examples. Okay, he hurt himself while playing. She bought herself a new pair of shoes. The two examples emphasize the subject, which is the word he and she, and it was added by the other pronouns himself and herself. Now, let's practice. I want to hear anyone in the class to answer the exercises that I will show in the screen. Okay, as for number 1, Mr. Reyes. Okay, very good. She looked at herself in the mirror. You got it right. Next, Mr. Perez. Okay, very good. He went to the park by himself. Last, uh, let's hear it from Miss Flores. Okay, very good. She watched a movie by herself. Now, I want you to write 5 sentences that uses reflexive pronouns in everyday situations. I want you to submit this activity before the dismissal. And now that, since I can see that all of you are now familiar with the reflexive pronouns, let's take a short review. So what are reflexive pronouns again, Miss Diaz? Okay, very good. It is the words that we use when the subject and object of a sentence are the same person or thing. Now, when do we use them? When do we use reflexive pronouns? Okay, Mr. Lim. Okay, very good. We use them to emphasize the subject. Okay, that's the end of our discussion. Thank you so much for listening. I'll see you in the next meeting. Goodbye, class.